XRP, we start with 1 hour chart. Okay, based on my last video, when the price was here, we mentioned any buy setup we take, and if we get when the price reached to this level here, we start to manage. There was no buy setup, we get a correction and drop. And even I mentioned that if the price break this low, this is where we prefer. Okay, now the price drop and break this low. Do we need to buy? We don't have any trade setup because still there is a possibility we get one move down. I mean, this is a correction is relative to any of this for the next move down is there. Okay, the only time we can get the buy, we get that trade setup based on 1 hour for buy. But see here, there was no trade setup. Okay, and even if we move to 15 minutes, there is no trade setup. Okay, anyway, we have to wait and get the trade setup. And if you refer to my when the price, I mean my analysis when the price was here, I mentioned that the possibility we get similar the correction similar to what we have here. That's why we mentioned about the 60. This is where we have to quite be careful if we want to take the trade when the price reaches to the 60, I think. Okay, after the breakout of the 60 around 64, we see this down move. Okay, now the question is it this correction is relative to this and we're expecting for running with a big internal move within these two? And if yes, then we need to look for buy. And how deep this one can go, we are not sure. The only thing is we have to get the trade set up for buy, similar to what I drew here, at least a fly. But as we can see, there was no trade set up here. And still with the possibility we here, we get a correction for one move down is there. Okay, that's why any buy, we should get a trade set up. All right. By the way, we don't have any trade setup yet. We cannot confirm it if we want to trade for the long term. Okay. And if I move to forward chart, all right, one thing I need to highlight here. Okay. Even in my last video, I mentioned that whether we consider this one, this is what we're looking for. Okay. For one move up. But also, how about if this is the only correction in relative to this, and this is the one is going to retest the low? Okay, I don't want to say again the price is going to retest the low. What I want to see that any buy within this range, we have to be like get the trade set up as every time I mention, and we have to manage it if it is not moving. The reason is if you put this one in relative to each other, how about if this is the ABC? And because for the ABC, we need to have a divergence. And this is what you have it, divergence between these two. And here, in case this is the ABC and this is the one is going to drop. Okay. Now, again, I don't want to say the price is going to drop because of this ABC. The only things I want to say, we're looking for buy within this range because we're looking for this correction. Any buy we take it, we should have the proper management risk for the risk and reward. Okay, if this is not moving, we take out the trade. At least any trade should be with a trade setup. Without the trade setup, we cannot jump into the trade. Okay, that's why what we have here, what we get here made this one happen. And this one, how deep it can go, we are not sure. All right, anyway, we don't have any trade setup. If we see the correction here, we take the trade when the price come to this top. We see whether there is a continuation or not. Even if you put your trend line here, even we don't need to wait the price to come to this because the possibility the price come here and drop is there. Maybe we better put here when the price come to this level, we start to manage. How about if the price sharply continue from here? We are not going to buy. We have to get the trade set up before we get the before we buy. Okay. Anyway, we just follow the chart and we don't jump into the trade. We do the trade setup again, and the only thing is we need to confirm how deep this one can go. Okay, how about if this one continue again from here without the giving us a trade setup? We don't need to trade it. We wait for the next trade setup. Okay, because still we can expect this one and relative to this means this one will be quite longer for one move down. It depends how we're looking at this. Okay, anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any trade that can conform for the buy, then I will share. Thanks.